today I'm going to film my throwback Thursday favourites, and I know it's not Thursday, it's Wednesday. But if I wait till next Thursday, it would be too late. I always struggle with this particular video because it's supposed to be on a Thursday, and I don't normally upload on a Thursday on this channel. Also, last month I kind of skipped this because most of the stuff that were in my favourites last October, I was still kind of actively using. Whereas this month, some of the stuff I do still use, some of the stuff I'm kind of just remembering because I'm filming this video. So I have my list in front of me on my computer. And the first thing that I mentioned was Chelsea Wares, not a thing, a YouTuber, a person. Someone who, even now, I watch. I really wish she made more videos, but I get that, you know, not everyone makes a lot of YouTube videos. People just kind of make them as and when the mood strikes. And I think because of that, her videos are so much nicer to watch. I know that, you know, lots of us put out a lot of content. And, you know, I like to think that the content is still good and you still want to watch it. But the people that don't put out as much content, sometimes there's so much more for them to say because they haven't filled us in so long. There's kind of just little anecdotes and things that come up. I love Chelsea. If you do not subscribe to her already, you definitely should, and I will link her below. So she's definitely still a favourite. There's not really someone that I would say would be comparable to her now. I still watch every single video that she uploads, whether it's her or her boyfriend pretending to be a beauty guru. Just brilliant channel, definitely subscribe. The next ones are nail polishes, and I have them here. Funnily enough, one of them is Knitted Gold. And I couldn't remember the name of it. In my last few videos, I was wearing this nail polish, and could I remember the name of it? No. Could I find it? No. And so I couldn't tell you what it was called. It's a Maybelline nail polish. I had to take this sticker off the top, which would normally say Maybelline Colour Show, blah, 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 because it was kind of peeling off and getting annoying. But this is one of the most beautiful nail polishes I own, and I still absolutely love it. I would definitely recommend it if it's still available, which I'm not sure about because it might have been a temporary thing last year. But it's an absolutely beautiful colour. I know that Essie do some similar ones, and I'll find out and link below whether or not this is still available / an alternative from Essie, because they do a lot of these kind of like encrusted type effects. But it's beautiful. And last year I loved it. Obviously it was on my favourites list, and I would still tell you that I loved it. But this year I cannot keep it on my nails. I mentioned in a recent video that I had chipped nail polish, and I just couldn't keep it from chipping off my nails. Every time I painted them, they just chipped off. It was really annoying. So I think it needs a really good kind of buffing of your nails before you start, kind of to give it a bit of a rough texture. But I don't get what changed in a year. Maybe my nails are shinier now. Sounds like a good thing, not such a good thing when it comes to nail polish. But this is definitely a festive favourite. A very, very similar favourite would be this one, and it's A Cut Above from Essie, and I know this one's still available. It's a rose gold, real chunky glitter, and they do several. I think I have a blue one and maybe a silver one as well, but this is definitely my favourite. And this over a white nail polish, amazing. Definitely still a favourite of mine. The next one is something, again, I mentioned in a recent video, my 5 budget berry lipsticks. I kind of gave an honourable mention to 2 other lip putters other than Raspberry Pi, which I recommended in the video, and that was, or one of them was, Pink Truffle, which again, if you compare to the, you can't compare because it's not here, but if you compare to a full-sized lip butter / my Raspberry Pi, this is one I've used a lot. That's kind of turned up all the way. It's just a really gorgeous everyday colour, a real, especially now, I mean I loved it last year, but this year, very on trend. It's that kind of deep brownish nude that's just so right now. Again, a Kylie Jenner lip, if you will. So still a favourite. The next one is Lanolips Tint in Rhubarb. Now I don't actually know where this is. It went into a handbag, and you know how it goes. Lip products tend to go in handbags and then never come out again. And I don't know where it's gone. I have a couple of other colours of it, but the only reason I'm not wearing it is because I don't know where it is. The comparable product that I've been wearing a lot recently and kind of lives in my handbag is a slightly more expensive one, but I thought it was still worth mentioning because I really like it. And it's the Clarins Instant Light Natural Lip Perfector. And I know this is something that has been raved about on YouTube. It's very different to the Rhubarb Lanolips. However, it's a lot easier to apply. The Lanolips one kind of squeezes out of a tube and you have to apply it with your fingers, whereas this one has kind of a fuzzy end, if you can see that. And you can kind of apply it straight onto the lips. It's really nice to have with you when you've got kind of slightly dry lips. You don't want to just put a lip balm on, you want something, you want like some kind of colour. It just gives a real sheer wash of something and also feels like it's helping if you've got dry lips. I really like it, but it is quite expensive, so it's not kind of a must-have, it's just a nice to have. Nuxe Reve de Miel Lip Balm. Something again that I've spoken about recently and I do still really like. However, and this is the pot one, the one that's kind of matte. Smells like chocolate orange or just oranges maybe. And it's more like a mask for your lips. Really unusual as lip balms go. Really like it still. However, I go in bits of phases with it. Sometimes it really works for me and sometimes it just doesn't seem to do anything. And I'm going through a bit of a phase of that at the moment. And so instead of that, I'm using Carmex, would you believe? Considerably cheaper. I mean, the Nuxe isn't mega expensive. I think it's about £9 and it lasts a really long time. It's not something that you're going to kind of keep with you and be using it every single day. It's more of something I would use overnight. But the Carmex is working really well for me right now. And it's just this basic classic Carmex in a tub, which again, a little bit cheaper. And I've used it both, it looks really ratchet right now. I've used it both kind of as a lip balm to mix in with other things to make kind of a glossier lip. All kinds of things. It's very Vaseline-y in texture, but it tingles a little bit, it feels a little bit medicated, and overnight it just really seems to heal my lips that have been really dry and cracked recently. So between my lip scrub from Lush, which is still the Santa, is it just called Santa lip scrub? I can't remember, the red one. I've still got that one from last year. That and this are totally saving my lips this winter. I'm not loving the Body Shop lip scuff, by the way. Really thought I'd love that, and it's just a little bit, for how it applies in a tube, it's too, not fluid, it's just not hard enough, you know what I mean? The actual balm that is suspending the scuff, the pumice or whatever it is, kind of slides around a bit, and I feel like it needs to be a little bit harder and maybe to be rougher. Maybe I need to keep it in the fridge. Let me know if you do that. The next one is L'Oreal Lumi Magique Touch. Now this is something I haven't used in ages. These kinds of concealers actually is, I go in phases of what kind of concealer I want to use, and this is not something I've used in a really, really long time. It's a little bit like the YSL, very, very similar in fact, and I don't love the YSL. Sometimes I'll use the YSL and be like, wow, this is amazing, and then I'll just think this is not giving me any coverage, blah, blah, blah. And I know that that's not supposed to be a concealer, it's a highlighting pen, whatever. But regardless, none of those types of products tend to give me as much coverage as I want under my eyes. So the product that I'm using at the moment, because I discovered that my Maybelline Age Rewind, which is my favourite, I discovered that that has been discontinued apparently. So the one I've replaced it with recently is Maybelline's Fit Me, and I really, really like this one. Very, very creamy, but still quite light. I'm really struggling to find something that's kind of not settling into fine lines, but thick enough to kind of cover everything I want to cover. If you have any recommendations, please tell me what your favourite concealer is for the under eyes. Not too dry, but not too thick. It's so tough because I don't want it to be too dry, because I don't want it to kind of settle into those lines, but it can't be too thick for the same reason, but I want it to stay and I want it to cover. Such a tricky product to find. And I'm really considering trying the Estee Lauder, because the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, the light one, I've recently gone back to, and is the only thing that's really working for me right now. Since my skin, I don't know, it's so oily, it's still winter, I don't really know what is going on, and I seem to have this kind of dryness around my eyes, so my skin is going a little bit crazy right now. But any recommendation for a really good eye concealer, under eye concealer for not the youngest skin, you know, more mature skin, better. What do I have next? Sleek Contour Blush Palette in Light. I don't really use that anymore, purely because I have the contour palette on its own. So the contour blush palette was kind of three things. It had the contour, the highlight and the blush. The blush wasn't really my favourite. It was too shimmery and I didn't really need it with the highlighter. And so I got the one, just the duo, which is way better for me because it's all I need and it's more compact. And if I contour, this is what I use. Absolutely. Wouldn't use anything else. If I was going travelling and I wasn't sure whether I'd want it or not, it's so compact, I would take it anyway. And if I'm going to use something that does that kind of thing, then this would be what I would take. So I do still like it, but I've got the more compact version of it now. Next I have, two more products. We're on to the last two. Dove Dry Shampoo. Now if I had it, I would use it. I'm not massively I want to say I'm not massively sold on one particular dry shampoo. That's not true. Batiste is definitely my favourite. The one that I've tried recently is the Floral Essences, which in case you're wondering is not too floral because I'm not a big floral fan. But it's just sweet and nice. Hang on. It's just fresh. It's just sweet and fresh. It doesn't smell floral to me at all. But then I like a lot of fragrances, and I say that I'm not a floral fan, but most fragrances surely have some kind of floral element to them, and I'm just not getting it. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But this is the one I'm using right now. If someone bought me Dove, I'd use Dove, more than happy. Really like the scent of it, really like how it works. I quite like the new collab from Ruth Crilly, the Model Recommends one. But that's not a heavy duty dry shampoo. That's something I would use to kind of refresh. If I'd washed my hair the night before and the next morning it wasn't looking quite as fresh as I want it to, I would use it then, because it's not really for something, if you've got kind of several days on, then you're going to need something like Batiste, something heavy duty. But as I've talked about before, I am blonde, I'm very blonde, and look at the roots right now. Every little helps with residue. I don't mind the white residue because it makes this look less obvious. I will just take a moment to address my roots because they are kind of taking over my videos at the moment. I'm really trying I'm trying to leave it like as long as possible in between colours, but seriously, even I am struggling right now. I don't mind a little bit of roots. I think it looks a little bit kind of edgy and cool on the right person, maybe not on me. But yeah, I think this needs to be addressed very soon, so don't worry. It's not like I don't know about this. My mum tells me every time I see her. Lastly, I have Sanctuary 5-Day Moisture Creamy Body Oil, and I am so glad that I did this month because I'd totally forgotten about this product, and it was a complete wonder product. Really, really amazing. Something I would absolutely recommend, and something I'm now going to go out and consciously buy because I reminded myself of it. It was kind of it was really strange. It came out and it looked like a lotion, but it performed more like an oil, but it absorbed like a lotion, and it was never going to kind of get those roly bits when you over rub something. Really difficult to describe, but I would definitely recommend that you give it a go. The only thing that I have that I'm using at the moment that I would kind of slightly liken it to would be this, and it's the Vaseline Spray Go. Not in the way that it kind of smells or anything, but I really like this purely because it's easy and it's quick. So if I get out of the bath or the shower, I can spritz this on myself, rub it all in, and it's absorbed by the time I've got to bed. Excuse me. By the time I've got to my bedroom, it's kind of absorbed all the way in. And I really, really like that for that reason. And it's a similar way that that other product worked. However, the product that I really, really like it just worked in different ways. I liked the fact that you could kind of use it almost to massage with, because it was a bit more of an oily consistency. And I love the smell of everything from the Sanctuary. So I like this. I would kind of liken it to this. This is a lot cheaper if you're looking for something similar. However, if I had the Sanctuary one, I would definitely be using it now. And I will have the Sanctuary one back in my beauty life very, very soon. So that is it. That's everything for my, everything for my Throwback Thursday on a Wednesday favourites this month. I am going to continue to do these videos because they are fun, but I might not do them every single month. We shall see. I always seem to leave them till the end of the month, and I like to leave a little bit of a gap between this and my actual favourites, and it always ends up being really, really close. So I'm going to try and start making them more in the middle of the month. But you guys might need to remind me of that. Twitter is a great place to remind me of videos I've told you I'm going to make. Because I'm terrible. I need to start writing this stuff down. So anyway, less of that, less rambling. Let's just wrap up the video, and I will see you guys on Friday for a Lush haul, which I'm pretty excited about. For those of you that have a problem with the fact that I filmed several videos in a row, I should warn you now, I'm going to be wearing these clothes because that's how I film things. I generally don't have time to film one video at a time. Let me know if you have any particularly Christmassy requests, because I have nothing specific planned as yet. So I'd like to know what you guys want to see most of all. Definitely some get ready with me's and some party proof makeup, because that's been requested a lot. But anything else, let me know. I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye!